I'll ask the recorder treasurer to call the roll.
Barnes. Bradley. Here. Hastings. Lynch.
Here.
Pistol.
Here.
Ward.
This time I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented.
Move to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? Changes? I'll ask for a roll call.
Barnes.
Yes.
Bradley.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Pistol.
Yes.
Ward.
Yes.
This time I'll also entertain a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the October 10th meeting and the monthly financials as presented.
Make a motion to approve. A second.
Any other discussion? I'll ask for a roll call.
Barnes.
Yes.
Bradley.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Pistol.
Yes.
Ward.
Yes.
Brings us down to our department head reports. We'll start out with the airport. Alex Kinlan, if you have any update or...
I really have no updates. Everything's just clocking along like it's supposed to.
Okay.
Questions?
What about our gas tank? We ever get that moved?
No. No, that's still in the planning stages.
Oh, okay.
And frankly, considering the time of year, at this point, I'd say won't be till after winter before we move it. You know, there's always these processes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brings us down to animal control. We'll start out with Officer Tim Pike, report for the county.
Good afternoon. All right, in the city, I took 8 calls this past month, picked up 2 dogs, picked up 1 cat, and wrote 6 tickets.
Have you had any reports of skunks or anything?
Well, all them goes to game and
Right.
fish.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of times you get a lot of,
Yeah,
yeah. I was getting quite a few a couple of months ago, and wasp. When-
pest control.
Yeah.
I'm good at pest control.
Yeah, but, yeah, that's, so, okay, so six,
Hopefully we'll fix to start getting more and more of these tags in, because they're
Yeah.
sending me a list now, who,
right, I thought you've been busy with that,
so I'm working on that.
appreciate that, thank you very much.
Go ahead and do that.
Brings us to Lori, tree, SNYP.
We have 23 dogs out there right now. I have 8 dogs in foster care, and we have 12 cats. We have 16 dogs leaving on Tuesday for Massachusetts. That will leave us with 8 out there. On site. We are trying to keep the numbers down because I'm having surgery on December the 4th.
December.
And I will be out a minimum of 6 weeks. That's pretty major.
December what?
4th,
Okay, that's coming up.
yeah.
You need maybe need some help winterizing.
Yeah, you know, we could always use help out there. We've replaced both of the thermostats back to the back heaters in the back area. The thermostats both went bad during the summer, so one was replaced last Saturday, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't wire it right. The heating and air guy came out yesterday and found the issue quickly, resolved that, and then he looked at the other one and he said the other one's just out. And I said, okay. And I said, so it just needs to be replaced. And he said, yeah. He looked at me and said, do you want to do that or you want me to? And I said, do you trust me to do it? And he said, yes. So I went down to Ace and I bought a thermostat and I replaced the thermostat out there. $20. So
Well, that was my question. It seemed semi-reasonable. You got heat back there, right?
yeah, we had heat back there anyway. The
Right.
system that we installed was working back there, but if that system is primarily electric, and if we had an ice storm,
Yeah.
and we need the backup for which is the natural gas heaters that are out there. So
Okay.
that's why we replaced those thermostats, just for backups.
Okay.
You know, there's gaps around the garage door. I sealed them off as best I can with blankets and stuff to keep the air down back there. I mean, it's not unbearably cold.
No.
It was this morning when we walked in there, it was 67, so I mean, and there was one day this week when we walked in, I believe it was Monday or Tuesday, it was 50 back there, so it was a little brisk for us, but the dogs were fine. So they all were on their little blankets, they were fine, they were happy. What questions do you have for me today?
How long has the roof been leaking?
Ever since I took over. I told you last month, we replaced the ceiling in the break area about probably 8 or 9 months ago now. It's back early in the spring. If you come out there and look, you can see that there is mold on that new ceiling. There's
Yeah,
black
it's
mold.
getting black mold up there.
Yeah, and that's from when it
Leak.
rains, that roof leaks, and
Okay.
when the county guys come out to inspect it, it's not raining, but they say it's not leaking.
Well, the roof and the insulation is, just the little stuff, like that
Yeah.
foam board against that fan and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out there tomorrow, so,
Okay.
which means nothing, but I mean, I'll be out there. I think I can at least get that up.
We are hoping to, before I'm out, when we send off the dogs next week, we will have open kennel space. We are hoping to tear that right side out, get those out of there, and the new kennels up before I have surgery.
What day do you think, would be a good, like a demolition day or something? You can,
Tuesdays are always good for me because Tuesdays and Sundays are the only 2 days a week that I don't have to report to another job
Right.
after I get finished out there.
so, a week from this Tuesday or this Tuesday?
Not this Tuesday, we have transport this Tuesday.
Tuesday week, you could take some bodies out there to get that out of there.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, because what you've done on that, I guess the west wall is nice.
it is nice. It's
Yeah.
nice for the dogs, it's easier to clean, it's, that side of the building smells better than the other side, so, I mean, there's just a world of difference. I encourage all of you, when we get that other side out, to come out there and look at the renovations that we've done, because it's better for everybody.
Okay.
For your staff that are out there, and for the animals especially.
Okay.
Or do you think you'll have anybody to adopt or to bring a dog to Christmas in the park, December the 7th? Because I know SNYP will be there, but you'll be out. So
We will be there. We're the ones that's hosting the costume contest. We're having a Come As Your Favorite Reindeer contest. We have prizes for that. Will we have a dog there? I don't know that we'll have a dog there. We might. This Saturday, we are having a free cat adoption event. Any cat out there this weekend is free. If you want a cat, if you know anybody want a cat, come get it. They're already altered, vaccinated, ready to go. I've got 2 dogs out there too that we are seriously considering putting them in there to get them out of there, so that the volunteers, after I leave, that's 2 less that they have to deal with. So we've got 2 others that can go, that can be put in that. We'll know more about that on. They can't go in the cell because we can't guarantee heartworm status on them. They were heartworm positive. We've treated them. We can't retest them until Tuesday. So I mean, if someone says it's heartworm positive, I'm going to have to say until Tuesday, yes, I'm going to have to tell you they're heartworm positive, and they want to adopt those 2. So, but I have a beautiful big black hound pit mix out there by the name of Sally that I want to go to a home. And then I've got a brindle male in the back that was one that Tim picked up this month that got hit by a car. He was rolled by a car. He's got horrible road rash, but other than that, he's perfectly fine. So we're treating the road rash. I'd like for him to get a local home too. He's an older guy. They really won't want him in Massachusetts. So if I need to find.
Is that the 2 you think on the 7th you'd send, or 2 or may I have misheard that? Like if we had
I can send those to the city.
Well, I mean,
I don't know how many volunteers I'm going to have.
all right, you need volunteers to take them down there?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't even know that I'll be
Able to
out
communicate very well.
and there
Got it.
myself.
Now, you need to be talked to before 1st of December and figure that
Right,
out.
I've talked to, my board members, of course, you know, the board members are busy on the weekends. Callie has got hooked on the weekend because Wiley works Saturday, so she's out. Giselle is usually keeping Tommy's, son Atlas. And Terry, Dr. Fox, is usually, I mean, there's no telling what slaughterhouse she's gonna be at on Saturday. You know, she's a food safety inspector, so she's works for the government at a minute's notice she's gone. Teresa Gates said she would be happy to go down there, but I would like for more than one person to be there if we're going to have pets down there. Potential
Well, a lot of
pets.
people adopt or get a pet for Christmas, and I just thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to help you
Yep.
and represent SNYP in the community,
Yep.
because there'll be a lot of kids there.
If I can get the volunteers to commit to going and spending an hour or two down there, absolutely, we can have pets there. But if I can't, I can't guarantee it.
Okay, thanks. Anything else for Lori? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Brings us to Fire Department Chief D.L. Webb report.
You should have a copy of my report. I sent it late this afternoon. This month, we've had a attic fire that was across from the practice football field at a residence. Luckily, Richie, who works at the school, seen the smoke, and we were able to get it out before it done any damage, real damage. We did have a call of a gas leak at a residence on Old Highway 9. That was just before the cold snap, so people were starting to light their gas stoves. So I told them to get a plumber to make sure. Did have a report from 911. They called me about a smell of gas up at Ed Street. As I was getting close to there, by that time they called and said the sheriff's office said there was a smell of gas around McDonald's. So after searching a 5-mile radius around town, they still couldn't find anything. The wind was blowing 35 miles an hour, so it could have been coming from Harrison at that time. We had a mock drill at the Clinton schools, worked with other agencies, working on a crisis team up at the school, so we did have a mock drill this week. We've had 4 inspections this month. Our air bottles as well as our fire extinguishers have been tested also. They have met requirements. Ordered new flashlights for all of our fire trucks. We did receive 2 donation checks from 2 of the gas companies, Flywheel and Swin. Is it Swin?
Swing like the flywheel.
XTO, that's right, sorry. Scarroll Square went good.
XTO.
Estimates somewhere around 3,000 was there, on and off. Talked with the mayor the other day and a couple of other council members. We do have an issue with the ladder truck that we're going to try to survive until spring, and then we'll have to seriously look at fixing it. If there's any, one more thing. We've not had meetings since the time change, so for the newspapers and anybody, I would like to mention, with the time change, is always a good time to check your batteries and your smoke detectors and your CO2 detectors. Please change those out and make sure they're working. If there's any questions I can answer, I'll be glad to try to answer them.
No, yeah, Sterling Square went well, and appreciate that. You always do a good job. And
Yeah,
you're right on when we fix that in the spring, whenever get it fixed, at the best place. But we talked about that. Okay, anything else for Chief Webb? Thank you. Brings us down to Parks and Rec Department, Charles Wilson.
We're working on Christmas lights finally. We put some up today. I got, if you want the big tree lit up, I need 100 strands of lights to light the big tree. They're anywhere from $19 to $15 a strand. And I need a few more smaller strands. I ordered bulbs today for the big lights that hang on the poles. We've been plugging these lights for, I've had 2 people in there plugging on them for 3 or 4 weeks. And it's not looking good for the home team. I mean, I've got enough to light up the pavilion a little bit, and then I've got the wild light display, which, I mean, it takes a little time. I'm working on changing out the computer for it, so if something happened to me, the city will have a computer for it. That way, just any Joe Blow, it has a little bit of hooking up 48 links of coax can set it up.
How's the light situation?
It's slim to none. Like I said, if you want to light up the big tree, I need 100 strands of lights.
Okay.
That's it in a nutshell.
How much more money?
$3,000 would do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be anywhere from 1,900 shipping and all to $2,500, $3,000 to light the big tree up.
So if you had a lot sponsor, it'd really be great.
It
You could
would
name the
be,
tree
it
after.
would be nice, would be nice. I mean, even 2 sponsors. We could, I mean, if they had banners, we could wrap lights around the banners, make it look like a Christmas tree and have it sponsored by them or whatever. That's, I mean, I'm up for just about trying any idea in the world, but like I said, I've got enough to light the pavilion and we'll have the wild lights. Everything that we've wrapped, I mean, and everything we got's 10 years old.
Yeah,
mean,
I know.
we're wrapping that garland today. We had to staple all the green stuff together. All the red is faded out. It's almost white. I mean, we put this stuff up for 10 years. We've rolled it out. We've rolled it up, put it out. But I mean, after 10, 11 years, it's time to replace some of it. I mean, if we want to keep doing this, which, I mean, I don't mind doing it. It's a little bit of extra work, but it's time to replace a few things. It's time to put some money aside and do the Christmas lights and fix the stuff that we have or do away with it. Either way. I mean, it's all, like I said, 10 years, that stuff just, it was just breaking us. I mean, you couldn't even blow on it, it's a bullet tight, and half of it, the wind gets blowing, so it'll blow off and fall off anyway, so.
Right.
I mean, after 10, 11 years,
So just the lights or the actual ornaments that go on the poles? What's
I've got bulbs ordered for the ones that go on the poles. I got a few of them up today, I got a few of them plugged in, some of them we got to finish plugging up, but, I mean, and there's a few of them got shorts and what have you, but, I mean, it's nothing we can't fix. But, like I said, I mean, we're gonna have to either put some money aside and dedicate some money to Christmas lights and do this, or we're gonna have to,
We need to set some money aside,
yeah,
like,
I mean,
pretty quick
my stuff.
for this year.
I mean, if we can get half of what we put up today back, it would be great, but I figure every bit of our red ribbon and all of our green garland and everything's done.
Yeah, that garland's doable. I mean, you just,
Yeah.
that's the worst. Takes on a little water, a little bit of sun, it's done.
Yeah.
Usually
and,
about 2
I
years.
mean, one year we put it all up and it flooded it. I mean, we lost a lot of lights because of that. We had to go through and power wash everything and it knocked out the controllers and everything else. 'Cause of the
I know
flood.
A&P gave, I mean, we always give some for our lights every year, but. I
Yeah, they
don't know
fixed,
if
they actually done good. They bought me a deal to fix it where I won't have to leave the truck parked out there in the way with a $300 laptop sitting in it.
How much money you think you would need for ribbon and lights and all?
I don't know.
Any idea?
We just have to, I'm not priced any of that stuff. I mean, your wife bought all this stuff. This is
Gotta
the
contact-
stuff that Anna bought whenever we first lit town up. That's how old this stuff is.
That's pretty old.
That's pretty old. She got together and put a little committee together and bought all this red stuff and all the garland and all that stuff, and that was when we first bought all the new pole lights. So even they're 11 years old, but I mean, they're still in pretty good shape. We gotta change a lot of bulbs every year, but
Yeah, you run out of, years go by and it gets fewer and fewer, I know.
Yeah,
I'm
and
messing
just-
with Viva Packs right now and they're only the 3rd or 4th year and it's like, you know, I gotta come up with I'm in the same boat with you on a different tree up in town.
and they just don't make the lights like they used to. I mean, yeah, we've got good lights and they'll run a couple of years, but I mean, once you put them up and they're in the weather, and once they start shorting, then they're just shorted. I mean, time you go buy 50,000 bulbs and go through and start.
What's your
replacing them.
turnaround time on lights? Just going down to Conway and getting them or ordering them?
We'll have to order them somewhere. I don't know, Davis Cash, or we can order them through Wild Lights, but they're gonna run $19 a box. I mean, I even went.
You're talking LEDs that'll last long.
Well, this is not even the incandescent are about as high as the LEDs anymore. I was looking at Northern Lights yesterday, and They were running $19 a box.
Hmm.
And they might give us a discount. I mean, I've worked out a deal with Davis and they'll sponsor, they'll knock some money off of them, but if they have them in the warehouse, that's the thing.
Charles, let me talk to somebody tomorrow. I've got a contact, and then I've got another one that does art. I messaged you, but I don't think you got it.
Yeah, I thought I sent you a message back.
You didn't send a message back.
I sent they'll get there in 2 or 3 days.
Okay, because
Yeah, I did
I had a
message
lot.
you,
I
yeah.
had
I'm
a
not
line
avoiding
contact,
people, I'm
and that
telling
was
you, it's
why.
just,
So.
Yeah, I sent you a
so-
message back.
I am avoiding
Figure out how to pay for
the
it.
messages.
Yeah, I think we can. I think I've got something.
But
But I have a lady that I talked to at Municipal League like last year for the lights, and they were really a lot. They were give us a big discount with the city, but you had to pre-order them. But I still have her card, so
Yeah. And the
I would
walls
think-
we need on the trees gotta be 43 feet.
43 feet.
Yeah, at least.
Okay.
40 to 43 feet.
Yeah, I got 34 on mine, so and you gotta have that, or you work yourself to death.
Yeah.
Or 2 strands.
I gotta
Yeah, I
come
know.
in and come down
Yeah.
and make the trunk
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Uh,
So,
I think too, Mr. Mayor, that we need to go ahead and budget something for next year, like Charles was saying on that,
I mean,
because have we done that?
Yeah.
Okay, and that way we don't, we don't have people coming back, or, he should,
Yeah.
he should have it in there. If you need something, you go get it, go get
Let's
it.
try to figure out what we can do maybe tomorrow, and, if we have to come back and say we need such and such and move some money for that, we'll try that.
yeah. I
Or
mean,
get somebody maybe to say, yeah, I'll sponsor that, or help with it.
Yeah, I mean,
We're only 2 weeks out before Christmas. I mean, before our open house.
2 weeks,
So
or, that's all we got is 2 weeks.
A few,
maybe 3. Yeah, I guess it's 3 weekends from this weekend. And
yeah, I count it the weekends.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, and it's been cold, but this cold weather, I mean, we fixed a few things, but all them wire frames and stuff's gotta be re-wrapped. I mean, we had one year where everybody went through there with tin snips and snipped the wires on just about half our deer. I mean. they
Let's
just
try to
went through
hook
there.
up tomorrow and see what we can get.
Stuff happens.
Okay,
People might step up and donate.
that's all I got.
Other than that, if anybody's got any questions about the park?
Uh, Anything else for Charles on that? Okay, thanks. Brings us to John Willoughby, Chief Willoughby Police Department.
Cold weather's helping us out a lot, so we're kind of slowing down here in the slower part of the year. We've managed to do about 6 felony drug charges this last month. And we filed 5 misdemeanor warrants for last month. Josh has been doing some training with the dog, about 23 hours last month. He did 5 demonstrations. I think they called him over to West Side School, and he went over there and done a demonstration, and they really loved that. We did about 60 citations, 20 warnings, and other training that we did was about 56 hours. And that's about it. We did a couple of, we did a few county assists. I think there was about 24 of them. So we're working well together, so we're keeping that going. And I was just gonna let y'all know that Bigfoot got away. He got captured and everything, and young man took him down through town, and I found the cage out in the middle of the 65 highway, just tore all to pieces.
Yeah, okay.
And
Never got a clear shot of him quite, just,
so he got away.
yeah, that's the way it always works. Okay,
Other than that, guys, that's all I got.
anything for the chief? All right. Thank you, John. Brings us to, move back to Charles Wilson Street Department.
We've been repairing and fixing all our equipment, pulled track on the dozer, rebuilt the track tensioner on it, put it all right together, fixed 2 hydraulic leaks on the skid steer, flushed out all the fuel system, got it going. We had to send the Kubota out to Mountain View. It had a broke wire inside the wiring harness. They fixed that. We've been working on the sidearm. We replaced 9 hydraulic lines on it.
Wow.
Rebuilt the cylinder for the steering shifter and numerous seals, and we got several more lines and seals to go. It should be pretty decent shape. It's working. We're going to have to get tires for it. Don't know how far y'all want to go on it, or if you want to just use it until it lays down again and shove it off to the side and rebuild it when we got time. Or
Well, y'all done a lot on it. I'm glad to get it back. That's pretty handy.
And we've got the old dump truck. Don't know if you want us to start on it next and try to get the old dump truck working. It's got to have a turbo and a whole bunch of other stuff rebuilt, so it's going to be a little more costly than
Well, I mean,
the sidearm.
if it's doable,
Yeah, I mean, anything's buildable.
Yeah.
If you've got a little mechanic skill, you can
if it's worth it. but-
rebuild it and put it together. I mean, as far as the running gears under it, it's got a new transmission, clutch, first plate, and all that, so.
How big is a bed on that?
It's,
Yards,
I hauled
approximately.
19 ton on it.
Wow.
Wouldn't say.
Okay, yeah.
19 ton. So, yeah, it'll haul pretty good load of gravel.
Yeah, that's what I meant to ask. Sorry, y'all a good learn.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
11 tons.
Yeah. It'll haul, it's I think it's 11-yard bed.
Okay. Okay.
So, but, I mean, 12, 14 tons comfortable on it.
If you think it's worth it, I'd
I
pursue
won't
it.
know until I start tearing into that turbo
Right.
and stuff and fire it back up.
I know y'all got a lot fixed over there in the last month.
We've been pulling stuff in the building and fixing and repairing. I mean, it's nice to be able to just go out there and get on a piece of equipment, roll it on the trailer and take off and go work on something.
Have you got most of the leaks fixed on that sidearm?
Yes, sir. Yes, we even done away with a bunch on the back that we don't use. The lift arms and all that on the tractor we never use, so they were leaking, the seals was bad, and I was like, well, we'll just block these off. We don't use it anyway.
It looked good over there today.
Yeah, we cleaned it up, power washed it, flushed the fuel system on it. I mean, it's running pretty decent.
Yeah.
Won't be able to use it in the summer unless we take it up and get the air conditioner fixed in it.
It saved y'all a lot of work if you get it going.
But, I mean, right now, during the winter time here, I think I can catch up enough and get caught up that we won't have to run it in the summer. And get everything pushed back this winter. I mean, the heater works pretty decent, I guess. I don't know yet. We're gonna find out.
What's wrong with the air conditioner in it?
It blowed the line, it caught on fire, melted all the wires. I had to cut all the wires.
I remember when it caught on fire.
And when it caught a fire, it melted all the conduit to the air conditioner, and then the air conditioner overheated and blowed all the lines off of it. So, yeah, I spent several months out there pulling wires apart and rewiring and running new wires, but figured it out. It took me a little bit. You get the key started and everything works. So.
All right. Anything else for Charles on the streets? Thank you. Water and Sewer Department, Will Hinchin.
All right, cold weather has not been good for us, so we got a lot of breaks and stuff now. The wet weather and everything moved in, water lines start moving. We got a lot of breaks and stuff. Staying pretty busy on leaks. The water loss for the entire system in Clinton was 39%, and Burnt Ridge was 34%. Den Arbor was 35%. So they were all up a little bit. We fixed some leaks since then, so they'll be hopefully better next month. Water plant cost for chemicals is back down to 7 cents a thousand for treatment, so that's down a lot. Let's see, we were 12 cents the previous month and 20 cents the month before that, so we're
Good.
back down good. Updates on the projects, 65 North. We're all new line from Mockingbird at the Antique Mall back to Glen Road. If you know where Glen Road is there, we're back there. So we're on that 8 inch to that far. From that, it's staying old until you get to about where Sonia Washington lives. That's their next tie-in. And from then on, from that down, almost to the stoplight will be all replaced. There's places that they left the old, but everything from Sonia's down will be new line when it's over.
Where's Glen Road?
Glen Road,
What's it?
Rock Yard, you got the Rock, Stevenson Rock Yard, and then that straight stretch,
Yeah.
that next one on the left's Glen Road.
I got you.
So we're new to that point right there.
Okay.
Meeting with CWB, I called them before our meeting Tuesday night. They're gonna come next week, sit down with me, and they've got the revised 10-year plan that we had went
Right.
over, so we'll have the cost and the updates and stuff on it. And I had moved some things around, added some things, kind of prioritized that, so I'll have that to present, I'll have that next month.
Yeah.
Besides that, we're just trying to keep everything afloat right now.
Okay. Thanks. Anything for Will on the water sewer? Thank you. Brings us to zoning department. Philip Ellis.
Let's see, zoning's been kind of quiet the last few months, or last month or so, but Park Festival on October 26th, was basically a total rain out. It's the most rain we've had, I think, since we've been doing Park Fest. But we were able to move our Blues Festival up to the senior citizens building. Thought it went real well. We had some local folks in it. Had one or two standing ovations during the day. Band out of Conway actually won the contest, but Marty Leffler, which is a local, was in that band that won.
So somebody from Clinton won, yeah.
So it worked out pretty good. We're already making plans for next year. The Buffalo River Blues Society had a meeting last weekend, so we're gonna try to do monthly meetings and get that fired up. Next Park Fest is coming up the 30th. We are gonna try to do it year round, see how it goes. Of course, as it gets colder, we'll just see how well people turn out. But then, like I say, we've been talking about the Christmas lights. I was glad to see they were advertised in the Municipal League magazine this month, so I think it's the first time we've gotten those listed in there, so I thought that was a good start. But other than that, things are just cruising right along.
Okay. Anything else for Philip? I can't read my writing. All right, thank you. Brings us to economic development, Jessica Crabtree. I'm sorry, the former Miss Crabtree.
Good evening. I have some paperwork that I'm going to hand out to council really quick before I say anything. Some of you already have some copies. Let's see. Before I start, Christmas in Clinton is, of course, the 7th. That's the next big event on the agenda. And we have posters and flyers that are in circulation as of today, so the publicity side is going really well. We are hoping to have a lot of fundraiser presence there, so aside from SNYP, we might also have the county canine unit doing fundraiser on location. We have Angel Tree and some other local initiatives that'll be there. So it's a good stage for that kind of crowd and a free event. Hopefully people will feel like giving back a little bit. Also something that has been discussed at AP is in the future to start planning on a sponsorship program for lights, because there's a lot of expense that has to go into it long term, and if that burden is shared, then it'll work a little better in the future in terms of the materials that he needs. And so that's something I'm interested in getting more ideas on how to go about that over the course of the year, so that it's not a last minute deal. But as far as the reports, typically I hand out some technical reports through the year, so you have an idea of traffic analytics or website material. This one's a little different. It's basically I get fielded the question, what is it exactly that you do? So this is a more comprehensive summary of what I've been working on and what I've been involved in over the course of the year. So hopefully that gives you a little more detail. And also I've provided each individual commissioner with some direct point of contact information so that we now close the gap on information that is kept current online for people, dealing with utilities or the local departments. So they have that information where they can get right back with me and we can keep things up to date. Also, I have attached some information for City Hall about the renewal of my contract work, since that pretty much runs the calendar year. And I've come up with a proposal just to fine tune a little bit of what I work on during the year, so it's going most towards what I can get done most efficiently and what's most needed to be addressed. So the amount on that contract is actually slightly reduced because I'm going to focus my time a little better. I'm also going to work on some upgrades and consolidating of some of the web accounts, so it saves a little bit of expense on things like hosting. So it'll cut down the amount. So beyond that, I have all the information for those reports for this year and the proposed renewal attached. I'm happy to field any questions about the website in general or some of these projects that are attached.
All right.
Jessica, where's your financial?
Dina has a copy.
Oh,
of the
Dina has a copy.
financial
Okay,
and
okay, I didn't know.
there, and I can also
Okay,
forward it to
okay.
any of you who need to review.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Anything for Jess? Okay, thank you. I'll look over those with Dina. Brings us in the department, brings us to old business. There is none, but she did bring up their financials. We're still working on the budget. Overall, we're in the black, which is good. We're looking at, I think maybe November the 25th, try to meet for our budget. We'll have our admin done in a couple of days, first next week, and get that emailed out to all y'all. And then maybe we can meet before December. If not, we won't meet the first week. It'd be December the 9th. It'll either be the 25th of this month or December the 9th. And that way we can approve the budget. And we'll have the budget presented, but I'd like to sit down and maybe get something we can try to approve before the end of the year, even at our next meeting. That's my goal. And of course, we'll consider all those things, the line item for Christmas lights and Jessica's contract and everything else. Brings us to new business. Christmas bonus is the first one. We are in a position, I believe, to offer that. We usually try to offer $150 net to employees and half that, I think, to part-time. I think the total it'll cost the city entire total is usually around $3,086.18. And I would entertain a motion in a second to approve that. When would we get those out? The bonuses, if we wrote them for this month? What's that?
We may do them tomorrow
Okay.
or Monday.
Okay.
It'll be next week. if
Try to
not.
get it always a month of, the month of, so they can have it for whatever they're doing. But I think we're certainly in a position to do that.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any motion, second, any discussion or questions? I'll ask for a roll call on that.
Lawrence,
Yes.
Bradley,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Pistol,
Yes.
Ward.
Yes.
Brings us to ordinance A&P tax rate amendment, been presented from A&P and the council. We've had this for quite some time. We went from 3% back to 2%. Members of the council and A&P commission would like to see that go back up to 3%. I don't know what that equates to on a monthly basis. It's not a whole lot, but it's certainly helpful. I think it's probably a good idea to do that. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion second to place this on the first reading by title only.
I make a motion. I'll second it.
So any discussion? If not, I'll ask for a vote. First reading.
Barnes,
Yes.
Bradley,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Pistol,
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
An ordinance of the city of Clinton, Arkansas to amend the rate levied for the A&P tax.
And we'll have time to discuss that between now and the next meeting, if you have any questions on that. That brings us down to public comments, if there's any public comments. Not, that brings us down to mayor's comments. I just came from the Pizza Hut. They're doing shop with a cop. They're raising funds for that. So if you're leaving out of here and haven't eaten, run by the Pizza Hut. And even if you're just going that way, you could do through the drive-through and throw in $1 or $2. It's a good program. I think Lucas is over there working it now. And Tasha, who works at First Service, used to work at Pizza Hut. She's down there working the window. So it's a good, I'd recommend you do that. Like I said, on the budget, I'd like to have, next week, we'll email that out to you and for each department, what our proposals are. There's several things to consider. Then we'll meet on that hopefully by the 25th. If not, we'll do it December the 9th and the 10th and whatever we have to do to try to get the budget done before our regular meeting in December. That would be preferable. I would like that. We'll see what happens. I think that's all I have. Next month, we'll probably, we'll give an update from the Parks and Rec. I didn't introduce that. We had a Parks and Rec commission meeting the other day, just kind of filling everybody out. Do you want to be on this committee? Do you not? Who's on here that don't need to be? It went really well. We leaned pretty heavy, or I did, to recreational side, not leaving out the parks. Charles had some good points on Parks and Rec, but it's worth coming to. Anyone's invited to that. I don't know when we'll meet. We'll meet in December, maybe middle of December, but I'd encourage you to come to that if you have any ideas or thoughts on that. Once again, that's an advisory committee. It's just for ideas, what direction we want to take our Parks and Rec, and like I say, mostly I put that together focusing on recreational side, baseball, softball complex. But
What time do you meet and where?
I haven't said it.
Oh, you haven't said it.
I was thinking we were talking around the 15th of maybe of December, or somewhere in that time frame.
Yeah. Richard, have you, or Charles, somebody from the school talked to y'all about the possibility of them using moving the softball?
Yeah, that's one of the things we talked about that, and be digging into the bank, and the tennis courts up there was always, can we move them or not? The quick answer to that is absolutely the ones up at the school. You know, everybody says tied to the grant. I think you're talking about that field there.
What about moving the softball games down there?
Moving everything down there.
Yeah,
to the
the
park.
school district is looking at wanting to put the baseball games and the softball games at the same.
Yeah, they want the.
Yeah, that field, it's that forgotten field, Field 4 or whatever it's called.
We'll still be hosting the smaller kids at.
Right.
Yeah, but that'll free up a field.
Yeah, well,
Possibly.
I mean,
Maybe.
they've never really had any conflict
On anyway, but yeah.
with the high school, but that'll give me
A practice.
an extra month that I don't have to chalk field for somebody.
That was another thing for the entire, when I talked to Chad several months ago, we were maybe consider a Parks and Rec Commission. He said, by the way, you have one. And a lot of that was because it leads into the brush picking up, or Charles to go chalk the field. Charles, have you got the sidearm fixed? And not just picking on Charles, but it'd be nice to kind of get a little more organized, because there are people out there that would say, man, I'll go chalk the fields. And we can take that kind of help, and I guarantee you, street department and the parks department will take it. I promise you. So yeah, we did discuss that, and that's kind of why I floated on recreational end of that, but yeah.
Yeah, we've always kind of catered to everybody we can cater to. We try to make it as comfortable to everybody as we can make it. And it's wiping out my crew. I mean,
Yeah.
When you push people to the point, like, yeah, you gotta hurry up and get this mowed so we can go over here and chalk these fields and drag these fields and.
You missed a spot over there.
Yeah, all the lines crooked, yeah, and I've had her hear that.
Well, that was kind of the whole point of the Parks and Rec deal, and I'd encourage you, I'll contact all of you for a meeting or something like that.
Yeah, I'd like to come.
Yeah, it's for the community. Charles made a really good point on while that park was built for That's not of something you have a softball and baseball tournament over the weekend, and it's hard to do at that facility at our park, at our walking trail.
I mean, it was designed, we asked everybody what they wanted in the park, and everybody's like, well, we want a softball field for our little kids to play softball. So we ought not push them out of the way or practice or anything else, because they're the ones that built it.
Yeah. So, it was a good first meeting, I thought, it was really good.
Yes.
Just kind of just like I get to know everybody. That's all I had. I think Tammy, Wednesday is gonna have maybe a surgery, so we'll be praying for Sammy Ward. He's the most seasoned member of the council, so, hope that goes well. I think it will.
Thank you, thank you.
That's all I've got.
Or anything like that. Hey.
Anything else? I'll entertain a motion, a second to adjourn. Thanks for coming.
Watching